Alright, hello internet. Coming to you from my basement in Utah. This is Jeff from Saratoga Screams. Just wanted to give you an in-depth look at my Leering Skeleton. It's a prop I built in 2014 at the Rocky Mountain Haunters annual gathering. I actually didn't get to do any Halloween stuff this last year. I was gone for work. Missed the entire 2015 haunt season. It was really hard on me. But I'm back. Just cleaning out my garage for Christmas. Or, excuse me, my basement, and get everything organized. So I thought I'd go through this real fast and give you guys a look at it all, and then put it all away. So here we go. I used a Costco pose and stay skeleton for the actual skeleton prop. I had to do a lot of disassembly and taking him apart and customization of the build just to make him work with this type of skeleton because of the way the spine is fairly narrow. And I also wanted him to be leaning over, as you can see. So a lot of the Leering Skeletons, due to the weight of the skeleton, they can't have him lean over at quite an angle, but I like the leaning look, so I had to do some extra work in there. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a look. So first of all, here's the quick skeleton, and then the tombstone. If you come in back here, it's just a plywood frame and a 2x4 going up. So the skeleton holds up the lantern with a wire. You got a hard wire, a frame built in that keeps the lantern hooked up, and you got a wire hook built in there, and that's how he holds that lantern. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug him. All right. So, due to weight of the lantern, I had to build my own. I think there's some places like Hobby Lobby or Michael's that might sell really cheap, lightweight lanterns. I didn't have one at the time, so I just custom made my own. I used a hard, it's like not cardboard, but shoot, forget the name of it right now. It's a type of board you buy at Walmart, pretty much $1, $2. You use it for a lot of different craft type items. I just put some Monster Mud over it, a light coat, and then I dry brushed it with this bronze acrylic paint just to kind of give it a more metallic look to it, and a coat hanger for the hook. And then I made my own candle out of PVC pipe, then hot glue melted down, and that's just the tea light in there. You can get those most places for pretty cheap. So anyways, very light lantern, and that's what allows him to lean over and not, the weight doesn't kill the motor and the structure itself. So I'm going to take this off. I bent up the skeleton hands just using a heat gun. That kind of gave him the grip look that I wanted instead of just the hands stuck out. I also wanted his arm, I decided to be free swinging instead of just posed rigid. So I took it off, and I've attached it with fishing wire, and I hot glued the back. And that's how the hand has that kind of hanging posture, and as it swings, he kind of jiggles around just a little bit, hangs freely, and it kind of gives a more natural feel to it. All right, now some of the work on the skeleton itself to get it to work. There's probably a lot of different ways to do this. This is the way I did it. I just kind of made it up as I went, and so if you have a better way, by all means, go for it. But if you want to use a Costco pose and stay skeleton, this is the way I did it. And it works. It's just kind of crude. So I had to, first of all, get him to be stationary on his support here. So, because if he's not stationary, he'll actually tilt at an angle. So what I've done, hold on, I gotta grab something. All right. So I had to drill holes in his back, so you can see him. So there's a nail right there, and there's a nail right there. So he's got a couple supports. That's what locks him in place. So I have to pull those out. They're kind of stuck in there. Just do the nature of them. So let me grab them real quick. I'm not left-handed. Okay, so that was a two-handed job. So now he can actually twist on his base. And if you were to put the lantern, like right now it doesn't look too bad, but if you put the lantern in his hand, he ends up twisting like this. It just looks really weird. So that's why I had to give him some support there. But he just slides right off. So when I built this, I had to chop him right there, and he's got a hollow structure there. And then I went through and I reinforced his entire spine with hot glue. I think it broke off at one point, and that's how I had to kind of figure out how to, when I was building this, how I wanted to do it. So he's just the upper half of the torso, 2 holes drilled in his spine. And what he's resting on is, these are fiberglass snow stakes. I got these at Home Depot. If you live in a state where it snows like I do, then you can get these for like buck and a half. I don't remember. They don't think they were that much. But I needed something thin and sturdy, so I went to fiberglass. Then I drilled the holes for the nails, one there and one there, and so that way when he's resting on there, those nails lock in place and he doesn't twist around. This is just his backbone, tailbone section of the skeleton. Usually I have it like twisty tight or something there, but if I need to get down here, I can. It's screwed on right now, but I'll go ahead and unscrew it, and so you can have a look. Okay, so I've gone ahead and unscrewed the tailbone. I'll put this down right over here. So I had to drill that hole so they could fit over the PVC pipe frame. The frame we actually built, it was designed to have the PVC pipe extend pretty much the length of this fiberglass. And that's great, but my skeleton's torso, obviously, and his spine, I'm sorry, was too narrow to fit over. So I shortened the PVC pipe substantially, and then I filled it with a 2-part epoxy, and so that's how this fiberglass pole stays into the PVC pipe frame. Okay, and this guy just rests here. I haven't done anything special to attach him. I haven't corpseified the skeleton or anything. Let's put it down. All right, so that's the actual turning mechanism top. I customized the height here to match the skeleton I was using so that it fit naturally where his hips and the tailbone would normally be. Okay, so tombstone, it's just this is a styrofoam. You can buy these pre-cut, and that's what we did with this build. I don't remember the exact location, but then I just monster mudded it and carved it out. And then when I carved it out, I forgot to account for the tombstone covers, which is why there are 2 with me's. And you just carve them out with I use a soldering iron, and then I paint them up. And then I'll use some fake moss. I'll use dryer lint and make it the moss. Okay, so here's your structure, and this comes up, and it's really light. It's just styrofoam on the outside glued onto wooden supports here, and then here's the guts here. This it's a windshield wiper motor, and hooked up in this formation here so that when it turns, it rotates. And I'll go plug it back in so you can see the motor actually working. Alright, so here we go. Here's the motor at work. And as you can see, it takes a little bit of patience when you're trying to get these screws and pipes put in exactly the right spot so that the spin happens instead of just a rotate and then a back around. So you actually have to get it so where it spins around when it pushes. And that is what causes the top to just go back and forth. And that's all it is. Mine creaks, which I kind of like. It adds a little character to this prop, especially when there's weight pulling down the skeleton. As it pulls down on the PVC pipe, it starts to creak more. It's kind of cool. Greased up the struts a little bit where it rubs up against the braces here. It's right there as well. But that's it. That is my Leering Skeleton, and that's how he's put together and built. Pretty inexpensive for what you come out with. Well, the other thing is I actually hollowed out a portion of the styrofoam there because it kept digging in after I drilled the holes and everything, so I just hollowed that out, and that way it's not rubbing up against the styrofoam. Alright, so yeah, happy Halloween, or whatever, Merry Christmas, I guess, is this time of year, and happy haunting to everybody.